a fuzzy game-based approach to performance-based contracting. Let's forget about the title right now. We go through an example, we see what the problem is, what my study is about, and then we get back to the title later. Imagine that we have a chef who is very greedy, who only looks for money, and on the other hand, we have a customer who is very hungry, who is looking for food. Let's consider that person as the supplier and the other person as the buyer or the government. This person orders food, and of course the chef knows what he needs by food, because that is his job. He's making food every day. But he is thinking about making more money. That's why he offers this guy food for only $5. And well, food for $5 is a very good deal. Yeah, it's a very good deal. That's why the buyer gets very happy. And he says, oh yeah, let's do that. But to make it official, they have to sign a contract. So they sign a contract. But if we have a close look at this contract, we can see some signs of ambiguity. It says good quality food. The contract talks about good quality food. What is good quality food? It's ambiguous. Doesn't come. Anyway, good quality food, it's ambiguous. And it is going to make problem in this story. Let's see how. So the buyer is happy, the government is happy until he receives the product. He is not happy anymore. He says, this is not the food that I want. Of course, the supplier always can argue that they have good quality product, they have good quality food. So this guy starts arguing, but from argument they get nowhere. They have to start negotiation. They negotiate, and the chef finally accepts to improve the product only if he receives more money. He receives $10 more, and he improves the product. Well, the buyer is not happy. He says, how about meat? I want meat in my plate. The chef says, you never talked about meat. It's a new requirement for the product. And of course, you have to pay for that. So he pays more. He's getting more and more angry. And he gets meat. Then he says, how about vegetable? He gets vegetable, he pays more. And then he says, how about green? He gets green, and he pays more. Let's stop this game right now and see what's going on. The chef is making more and more money. And of course, he knows that the more he plays, the more he gains. On the other hand, the buyer is getting more and more angry because this is not the food that he wants after paying this money, this much of money. And but the situation is that the buyer cannot do anything because he has already signed a contract, an ambiguous contract. That was just a story. But when we go through government projects, we can see similar situations there. There are many examples of government not receiving satisfactory product. Collins class submarines. We never received a satisfactory product. We asked the supplier to improve again and again and again. Of course, the supplier improved the product again and again and again. But we paid again and again and again. So that's the same story, similar story. For the Collins class submarines, after all of those improvements, we can see a lot of signs of deficiencies in contracts. Here are some examples. And guess what? We paid $5 billion. You know how big $5 billion is? I'm sure that you are thinking about what you can buy with $5 billion. But guess what? For the new submarines, we are paying 10 times more than that. $50 billion. And it is a new contract. We just signed it a few months ago. You know where the money goes from? Pumping money, your money, tax. I'm not saying that we shouldn't expand for these products because these are very strategic. At some point we need them. That's our safety, that's our security. We have to pay for that. What I am saying is that we can make contracts smarter. We can use methods and tools to specify what we want, to receive what we want. I am proposing a mathematical approach to support contracting. Why mathematics? 2 plus 2. It's specific. That's why we use it to specify the requirements. I am using game theory and fuzzy logic to do that. I am using game theory because it is like a game, as we discussed earlier. We have supplier, we have buyer, each of them is looking for their own benefits, for their own interest. That's why it looks like a game. We can formulate it. Aside from game theory, I'm using fuzzy logic. Fuzzy logic is to address the ambiguity. When we are saying that we want the new submarines to be less noisy than the previous submarine, it's ambiguous. How less noisy do you want? 1 decibel, 10 decibel, or 100 decibel? You can use fuzzy logic to say, if the noise level is more than 115 decibel, we are not satisfied with the product, it gets 0. If the noise level is more than 100, is less than 100 decibel, then it's very quiet. You are very happy. It gets 1. If it is something in between, it gets a number between 0 and 1. After we use fuzzy logic, game theory, and some other tools and techniques, we integrate these tools and techniques, we can use this mathematical approach to address the ambiguity of the contract, to define what product we need. So after we propose this model, the supplier won't be able to make that much money. He will still make money, but as much as he deserves. That's why he is still happy. On the other hand, the buyer won't be that much angry because he can receive the product that he wants, and he cools down and he gets happy. This was the product that he wanted from the first. He couldn't make it with the old method of contracting. You remember I told you to forget about the title? This is the end of the presentation and you have to remember that. A fuzzy game-based approach to performance-based contracting. I am working on performance-based contracting. Not all the method of contracting, only on performance-based contracting. In performance-based contracting, we only pay based on the output, based on the quality of the product, based on the performance. We do not pay based on the process or input. And since we do not monitor the process of suppliers, the input of suppliers, it becomes even more important how we define the requirements. If we cannot define the requirements correctly, we might end up receiving the bad product. We might receive the bad food, and then we have to ask the supplier, the chef, to improve that product for us. And of course, that is going to cost for us a lot of money. That's why I am using a mathematical approach, a fuzzy game-based approach to address that. Now, if we have a second look at the title, it is a very straightforward title. We have a mathematical approach to a method of contracting. End of the story. After we propose this model, we will have happy buyers, happy suppliers, of course not super happy, but still happy. They are making a deal. And satisfactory and precise product, and less waste of public money, which is your money, your pocket, your tax, and we are going to save it. Thank you.